So you've got this dream of living in Italy, right? La dolce vita. Well, today we're getting real about it. We're talking about the first and maybe biggest hurdle, actually finding a place to live. Because as you're about to see, getting the keys to your Italian dream home involves navigating some very Italian challenges.
First off, just how popular is this dream? Well, the numbers here are pretty wild. Nationally, an average rental gets about 13 inquiries. Not too bad. But head to a big city like Rome, and that number jumps to 29. And then you get to a super desirable spot like Verona. And you're competing with 42 other people for one apartment. The competition is fierce.
Okay, so those numbers are a lot, right? But here's the thing they don't show. For a foreigner, it's not just about the number of people you're up against. It's about a system that has some really unique hurdles built right into it. So let's dive in and figure out what's really going on here.
To really get it, you have to understand this central idea, what we're calling the Italian rental paradox. The laws in Italy are actually designed to be super protective of tenants. But, and this is the key, that very protection creates a massive amount of fear and risk for landlords, and that fear dictates everything.
And if you want to understand that fear, just look at this timeline for eviction, or sfratto as they call it. It's, wow. If a tenant stops paying, it can take over a month just to get a court hearing. Then, a judge can give them a 90-day term of grace to pay up. And after all of that, the process to actually, physically get the property back, we're talking anywhere from another 6 months to 2 years.
And this quote from a landlord on Reddit, man, it just says it all. Imagine someone living in your property, not paying you a dime, and you can't get them out for years. And get this, you might still have to pay taxes on the rent you're not even getting. That deep-seated fear is what makes the whole system so incredibly cautious.
So because landlords are so terrified of this happening, what do? They build a wall of bureaucracy. And for any foreigner, your first job is to figure out how to get through that paper chase even before you start looking at apartments.
Okay, first things first. Before you can do practically anything in Italy, you need this thing called a codice fiscale. It's a tax code, sure, but you should think of it as your golden ticket. It's a 16-character code, and without it, you can't sign a lease, open a bank account, set up Wi-Fi. Basically, you don't exist officially.
And this is where things get kind of maddening. You run into this classic catch-22 loop. See, you need a signed lease to get your residency permit, but you often need that permit to open a proper bank account. And guess what landlords want to see before they give you a lease? Yep, a bank account and your codice fiscale. It can feel like you're just going in circles.
All right, let's say you've somehow managed to break out of that bureaucratic circle. You've got your papers, you're ready. Well, now you face the next big thing, the rental contracts themselves. And trust me, they are probably not what you're used to.
So if you're used to a simple one-year lease, just throw that whole idea out the window. The most common contract in Italy is called a 4+4. That means it's a 4-year contract that then automatically renews for another 4 years. From a landlord's view, they're potentially locking themselves in to an 8-year relationship. No wonder they're so picky.
So you've got the long eviction process, these multi-year contracts, and, for foreigners, the perceived flight risk. To protect themselves from all of this, landlords demand some serious financial guarantees, and the upfront cash you need can be, frankly, staggering. First up, you've got your standard security deposit, the deposito cauzionale. The law says it can be a maximum of 3 months' rent. So if we're talking about a €1,000 a month apartment, that's $3,000 you need to put down right away.
But wait, there's more. And this is the real kicker for foreigners. It's called a bank guarantee, or fideiussione bancaria. Landlords often ask for this, and it means you have to go to a bank and lock away a huge amount of cash. We're talking 6 or even 12 months' rent. For our example apartment, that's another €12,000, just sitting in a blocked account.
Okay, you ready for this? Let's do the math. You have the €3,000 deposit, the €12,000 bank guarantee, you've got your first month's rent, plus agency fees. All told, for that €1,000 apartment, you could need over €17,000 in cash ready to go just to get the keys. It's a huge barrier.
So after all that, you're probably thinking, how is this even possible, right? Well, here's the secret. You have to completely change your strategy. You're not just a person asking for a place to live, you have to become the solution to the landlord's biggest problem, which is risk. And you do that by preparing what we're calling a professional rental dossier.
This is your paper shield. It's a complete organized package with everything you see here. Your passport, your codice fiscale, your work contract translated into Italian, everything. You are proactively answering every possible question and calming every possible fear before they even have to ask.
And this just completely changes the game. Look at the difference. Applicant A sends a casual message. They're just another number, another potential risk. But applicant B, they're a professional. They're serious. They're not asking a question. They are presenting themselves as the perfect low-risk answer. Who are you going to rent to?
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that renting in Italy as a foreigner is rarely about luck. It's about empathy. It's about truly understanding the landlord's point of view, their fears, and then using meticulous, over-the-top preparation to build a bridge of trust that makes them feel safe handing you the keys.
By understanding the system, you can absolutely navigate it and find your place. But it leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? In a market that's so fundamentally shaped by this deep-seated fear of risk, is it even possible for new laws or technology to simplify things? Or is this complex, very human dance of trust and paperwork just part of what it means to live in Italy?